Hi everybody, welcome back. On this video, we are going to be learning something very important. And that is that we want to handle events from users. Let's say a user clicks on a form and we want to handle that. A user clicks on a button or a slide on a slider on our website or application. We want to handle that event. We want to be able to run functions, do different things with that event. An event could be moving my mouse to the left, to the right, dragging a folder. An event could be anything that I do with my mouse. All right, so we can handle those events. And it doesn't even have to be with the mouse, it could be with other things. But anyways, I want to get you started on that. I think this is very important to cover. So what we're going to be doing is let's open a window for our co-editor and let's drag blank.html in there and let's do a save as. And let's call this events.html. Trying to cover as many major components as possible so that way you can have the proper training to go to those advanced courses. So anyways, we open a script tag here on events.html and let's write some code. Now, before we do that, let's actually put a button here, and when the user or us click on the button, we want something to happen, right? So we're gonna say click here. We're gonna write our text for a button there. Let's open this in the browser. So we have this button there, and when we click it, nothing happens. We want something to happen when we click it. And let's open a box there, just a simple function, so that way you can see how to do this. And you can call any function once I show you. So now this looks very empty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually add some Bootstrap. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, some of you already have taken my other course, Bootstrap course. Just know that Bootstrap is a framework that makes your websites or application responsive really fast, and it makes it look nice. And you're gonna see now how nice we can make this button look in seconds. Refresh, done. A lot of fun, a lot of styles in under 5 seconds. All I did was add a style sheet and some classes. If you want some more information about that, go take my other course on Bootstrap. But anyway, so we want this when we click it to go to do something, right? So we can add an event handler, and this is called onClick here, and it's just like an attribute, just like an HTML attribute. It's called onClick, and here we put the function alert semicolon single quotes, because I got double quotes outside. If I put double quotes, I close that before I even start. It won't work. So let's do single quotes and say hello from button. All right. I'm gonna save it and refresh. If I click on it, we get this function. All right. So that's one way of doing it. We add the onClick event handler here, and we just write our function right in between there, between those quotes. That's one way of doing it. Let me show you another way that actually I think is a lot better than this, because this way you're gonna have to write this onClick on every element that you want a function to be activated on, right? So that's actually a kind of waste of time, and I don't know, it's just not, I don't think it's the right way of doing it. All right, old-fashioned. Let's do this in a different way. Let's use a function called, let's make another button here, and I'm gonna take this onClick because we're not going to need it anymore. We are going to need the class, but we are going to make this button a different color. Refresh, and we got a different button here. It's gonna be green. We click on this green, nothing happens. All right. What I do want to add is an ID, because I want to use that ID for the function. So I'm gonna call this button 2. All right. So now let's write our JavaScript. How we are going to be able to to control this button with JavaScript? Well, we can actually use a function called, which is a pre-built function in JavaScript, called document dot get element, and you're gonna look at these uppercases. In every word I'm writing uppercases except the lowercase. Element by another uppercase, ID again another one. And you have to write it exactly like this. If you don't, even if you miss this E right here, it won't work. As you can see, my co-editor is already letting me know that it's wrong. So get document, which is the document right here, the whole document, and then we use this method get element by ID, right? So what ID are we talking about? Right here, right? Button 2. So we're gonna put some single quotes, button 2. So we already got control right now of this button here. We can do a lot of things to it. But what I want to do is I want to add a on-click event handler there. So how we add things once we have the value of this button there. We add it with a dot notation, and that's what it's called, right? And then we add the on-click right here, right? And once we have the on-click, what we need to add, what we are going to be adding, the way this works is that we assign this event handler a function, and this is going to be a function that we are going to later create. We haven't created this function yet. We need to create it, but right now it's not going to do anything. Let's open and close our parentheses, and you're going to get surprised when I tell you that we do have to put a semicolon at the end of this. All right, and you might be asking yourself, why do we have to do that? Well, the reason why is because we are assigning a value, right? And this becomes a statement now. It's not just a regular function, it's a whole statement. Once we assign a value to it, it's a statement, so we need to close it with a semicolon. All right, so don't get confused on that. In the middle here, we need to put the name of the function. We haven't made the function yet, but I'm going to make a function called click me function. Click me function. All right, put the parentheses, and that's it. I don't need to do anything else. So now this function, this is done. This event handler is done. It's going to handle a function called click me function. Now we need to actually make the function, so that way when somebody clicks on our button, it does something, right? So let's make the function. I'm going to grab the same function name, and I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to actually use the keyword function because I need to, that's how we make functions. And then I'm going to open and close my curly bracket and bring it down. And now I want somebody to do something when they click on that button. What do I want them to do? Well, I want the button to actually alert something. So we're going to alert hello from the best function. Yay. Well, I think you write yay like this, right? Not with a Y. Yay. All right. So now let's try this, see if it works. If not, we're going to have to debug it, but I think it should work. Refresh, click it, and now we say hello from the best function. Yay. So this is pretty awesome, right? Imagine all the possibilities. So let's just recap a little bit. We made a button here, the first one, with an on-click event handler right on the element itself. And I told you it's a waste of time because we have to keep adding the same thing over and over again. All right, so this is how you put it in the element itself, and this is how you can call this from an external file. So you can put this in a external file, all right, and you can make it work, right? You can save all your functions somewhere else and keep your HTML clean, and this is the best way of doing it. All right, so anyways, I wanted you to have that information in your tool set, and hopefully it was helpful to you. And if it was, you know, I'm welcome for any feedback. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I see you in the next lecture. Hopefully you are enjoying. And remember, there are more resources at the end of this course. Take care.